welcome. My name is Tels. I'm a Lagos-based YouTuber. I talk about lifestyle, minimalism, finance, anything trending, and things I feel that should be said. I say it on here on my channel. I usually like to document things here so that for future references, I'll see, oh, these are the things that I actually had concerns about. So today's topic, we're going to talk about something that I passed through, and a lot of first-time moms are passing through. So if you want to listen to it, stay tuned. Okay, we're going to talk about comparison. Stop comparing your kids or comparing your kids. I don't really know what I'm going to title this video, but it falls within that range. So it's very hard for first-time moms to stop doing that because you don't have that first-hand experience. This is your first-hand experience. So you want to believe that you're doing the right thing, especially people that don't really have their mothers around them, or people whose moms are, the age gap is so wide. My mom is over 30 something years older than I am, and things then are so different from the way things are now. So I'll need like a guide to know what I'm doing, to be sure that I'm doing the right thing, So let's start from the beginning. Let's go back to the beginning, ab initio. So when I had my baby, obviously the umbilical cord will be cut. Then there's a time it has to fall off, and I read a lot about those things. I like to be prepared when I'm doing something, so I watch a lot of videos, and there's a timeline in which it was supposed to fall off, and I didn't even wait for the timeline to elapse. But because while I was in the hospital, I made friends with other women that gave birth around the same time I gave birth. Some of them even gave birth the same day. I think we were three in the ward. We were three in the ward, in the room. So we all exchanged numbers and all that, So when I called this one, my baby's umbilical cord has fallen off. Called this one, it has fallen off. Hey, I was not paranoid. What was going on? My baby's one has not fallen off. And my mom was like, see, don't use desperation and go and use your hand to remove this thing. It will fall off by itself. And without anticipation, sometimes I'll just be checking him. Any small thing, I'll be checking him. It fell off the next day. So I didn't know what my anxiety was actually. Of course, I just wanted to not feel left out, or I was trying to see, hope I'm not doing anything wrong, because you're supposed to rub a gel on it. Some people say use spirits, there are different. Some, even when we were olden days, what they usually use is lantern. They'll put cloth on the lantern and put it on the stomach of the child. But we're told not to do that in the hospital, that because of infection and all that. So I was like, hope I'm doing the right thing, hope I'm doing it well, hope I'm rubbing the cream well on it, hope I'm worry would not solve anything, my dear. So as my child began to grow, I realized I was not the only one, being paranoid. Even my male friends who had children for the first time would call me and ask me, oh, is your baby growing teeth? My own baby has not started growing teeth. And my baby grew teeth so fast that by the time he was born, he had a full, as in his teeth he was already chewing chicken. Like he had full teeth. I had this friend of mine call me that his baby has not grown one. He has not even grown one. And he was so paranoid, he would call me and ask me that when is the appropriate age for them. When my baby started crawling, he crawled late because he was always doing backward crawling. If you put my baby's name is Ikenna, we call him Ikibobo. If you put him on the floor, he will be crawling backwards, crawling with his sides, but he will not crawl forward. So we had to use some things to sensitize him to be coming forward. Maybe putting his favorite toys in front, calling his attention to come meet us, gradually pulling him, showing him how to crawl forward and all that. So at that stage, I was also paranoid. My baby is not crawling forward. I started Googling, how can my baby crawl forward? When he was supposed to walk, he was only walking on the bed, because I think it's out of fear. If you put my baby on the floor, he wouldn't walk on the floor. He would only walk on the bed. He would walk on the chair. If his 1-year-old pictures were all taken on the chair, on our sofa, he would walk on that chair. But by the time we put him on the floor, he will sit down, or he will crawl, or he will just stand. He won't move further. No matter what you're giving him, maybe his toy, he will still stand there, he won't move further. So gradually, I think when he was 13 months, a year and close to a month, he started moving on the floor. So at that stage, I was always asking friends, what can we do? I was always Googling, comparing my kids, my child with their own children. the people that are born within his age range. Sometimes I even look at children that are 2 years old, 2 months older than him, you know, trying to see what they are doing at the moment so that he can catch up when he gets to that age. The struggle is real, to be honest. To be a first-time mom is not easy. It's not easy. So then now he's about 19 months, he'll be 20 months, and his speech is not great. Like right now he only says dada, hi. He just says, you know, one words, you know. And I follow this some channels on YouTube where they talk about ages and stages, you know, at what a child should be doing at this age, you know, what stage a child should be, you know, and all that. Although in the video you will hear them say it is not compulsory that your child does all of these things at this age, but the stubbornness in my head will block that information out, and I will only be looking at the things that the children in that video are currently doing, and I'm expecting my baby to do it. Even transitioning him to solid food was not difficult at first. You know, while he was a baby, he was even eating swallow, he was eating soup and all that. But as he's growing now, he's refusing to eat a lot of these things. And I'm wondering, this child should be eating these things by now. I will tell you when I came to the realization that I need to calm down and drink water. I will tell you, because it's very, very recent. I used to be so paranoid about his growth, because he looks bigger than his age. So I don't even use his mates to pair him. He looks like a 3-year-old. You know, when I see some of my friends' children that are 3-year-old and I put him alongside, he fits in perfectly. You know, he looks like a 3-year-old, and he's barely 20 months. He's not even up to 2 years. So I usually look at them and expect him to do what they're doing. My friend's child that is 3 years old is talking, like, is interacting, can communicate properly. So I expected him to also do that, you know. Then potty training. You know, when a child wears pampers and wears shorts, you will know that this child is wearing diapers, not pampers, sorry, diapers. So I was going to the market one day with my son, and my neighbor saw me and she was like, is this big boy still wearing diapers? I was like, that was even 2 months ago. I was like, he's just 18 months old. It's like, that her son at that age, he was not wearing diapers, so that do I know how much diapers is in? Like I said, I couldn't know. Now me they buy him now. Now they buy him, so we know how much. So she was like, no. She doesn't want to see him with diapers again, especially now that he's at home. Like, has he started crèche? I said, no, I don't want to put him in crèche. Let him just start school when he's 2, you know. And she was like, when you get home, just put his diapers. Let him be walking around free. Whenever he wants to wee, he will communicate to you, or you'll be taking him to the restroom once in a while. I said, okay, you know, you as a mother now, you don't want to be ignorant and say, oh, I wouldn't do it. If there's anything that happened, they will not ask you, did you try? You say you did not try. So I was in that spot. I said, okay, from then on, when I get home, I would remove pampers from diapers. Nigerians, diapers is pampers. So I'll remove these diapers from this boy's body, and anytime he wants to sleep, I'll wear it for him, and when he's awake, I'll remove it. So I told my nanny, please, this is what you should be doing when I go to work. You know, I was hearing, whenever I take him to the restroom, I'll say, boo boo, pee, wee, making sounds, you know. That's what my neighbor asked me to be doing, you know. Nothing will come out. This boy cannot communicate with me very well yet. Nothing will come out. But just as he lands on my bed, everything will come out. Or just as he lands on the parlor seat, everything will come out. Or when he's on the rug, that is when everything will come out. My husband was tired, like, what is going on? Why is this place smelling pee? Like, what actually broke the camel's back was when he weed on my husband. I was like, are we not buying diapers in this house again? I was like, you will not blame you. You don't have to blame me, because I'm already at a spot. I'm at a dilemma. I don't know what to do. And he was like, how do you expect this boy to communicate with you that he wants to be when he's not talking yet? You know, even if he's pressed and he wants to pee, he cannot even tap you to communicate, because he has not had that, he hasn't gotten to that level of communication yet. Why not wait? When his boy can communicate properly, then you begin to potty train him. Because at this moment, everywhere started smelling of wee. No matter how we tried, if we wees, we clean, would spray this, it was not becoming too bad. My husband was like, this will not work, please. So what made me even talk about this was, I always talk about Baby Badmus a lot. She's a YouTuber here on YouTube, and we are Also, and I also chat with her on Instagram in her DMs. So she writes a lot of interesting things on her Instagram stories, and whenever I see her Instagram story pop up, I usually quickly click on it to read what she has written there. So she mentioned her baby Tishe. Tishe is 2 years plus, you know, and she still wears diapers. And she was trying to teach the girl honesty because she says no a lot, and she has not learned how to say yes. So she asked Tishe, "Have you pooed?" Then the baby responded and said no, you know, and she checked and she saw poo there. So she now told the girl that whenever you poo and mommy asks you, nod your head or you say yes. So she was trying to pass the message of honesty to the child, but she now realized that, come on, I've not heard this girl say yes to me before. She only says no because most times, you know, that's the default response when you have toddlers. They want a lot of things and you tell them no. So she picked up that quite easily. So she now said, so I think after she made that post, a lot of people were going to her DMs and telling her that at 2 years plus, your child is not potty trained yet. So I saw another post again from her that she did not ask for Instagram solicitors to inquire why her child has not started using the potty yet. That she knows, she's aware, and they're working towards it. Whenever the child is ready to be potty trained, the child will be potty trained. You know, so I had to send her a message. I was like, I don't really know why people like to really put their nose in people's businesses. Child is not eating, they will poke nose, except the parents specifically asks you for information. Because I know there was one time I didn't care or Esho, sorry, she's also on YouTube, she made a post and asked people to suggest things for her baby. I think feeding ideas or so, what her baby can eat at certain age. And I was part of the people that contributed to that. So that is someone that is in need asking for your opinion, you know, not you generally just, you know, messaging the person and saying, feed your baby child this. I think we need to learn that minding your business is something that we women, we need to really learn how to do, you know. Or you have some friends that have not taken in and you feel like you need to go in there, There's a difference between you just being a concerned friend and you putting in your suggestion. Have you tried this? Have you tried that? What? Calm down. What if the person has other things she wants to do with her life at the moment? So on this note, I'd just like to advise people to please look at people's, don't just come out and say things to people, comparing so-so child to so-so child. At this age, my child was already doing this. At this age, things are very different, you know. Even my brother's kids and my kids, I can just use them as a guide, but I don't have to comparing what they have done at so-so age and what my child is doing at so-so age, because even myself and my brother, we did not do the same thing at the same ages. So why should I kill myself over it? So I came to this realization very recent. This should be like in February or something. And I've learned to calm down. You know, I'm gradually helping my child to develop, and I've been praying to God at certain ages that at certain stages that he's going to surmount any challenge that he faces at any stage. I've put everything in God's hands. I'm doing my best as a mom, so I don't need external pressure from anybody. You know, trying to compare my child with another person's child. You know, some people even were telling me, even one of my neighbors, this neighbor said they should calm down. One of my neighbors was telling me, it's good to put him in school. Oh. I told the lady that I don't want to put him in school yet because I had wanted to put him in January, but the school I went to, I really love that school, and they told me that they can admit him in January, but if he starts that school by September, he repeats that class, that they can only take people from 2 years and above into that class. And I was like, so what is the point? My child's friends will now be in a higher class, then he'll be in a lower class. What's the point? Let him just stay at home and chill with me. Then when it's time for him to start, he'll start fully. So she was like, no, then take him to another school. I must take him to that school. He's already too sharp, because my child is actually very sharp. You know, he's already too sharp, and he already looks bigger than even the 2-year-olds. If he goes there by September, he'll be bigger than other kids in the class. I was like, leave him now. Honestly, I've had it up to here with people that give their own solicited opinions. I've had it up to here, you know. I can just ask you, if I'm your friend and we are close, I can just inquire from you, oh, is he talking yet? Is he working yet? But that doesn't mean I'll now start being in your business about it all day, every day. No. Please, people should just calm down and drink water. On this note, I'd like to say thank you for tuning in again. Learn to mind your business a lot, because you don't know what people are feeling inside. And you don't want them to react in a way that you don't like, you know. I was chatting with somebody recently and she told me that people used to call her fat. But if she wants to open her mouth, she'll just, this Holy Spirit activates will just happen to her, because what she's thinking in her head, if she opens her mouth to say it, they wouldn't like it. So she'll just keep quiet and swallow spit, you know. So see you in the next one again. It's your girl Stels. Thank you for tuning in. Bye-bye.